Okay, good evening. I'd like to call the Aurora Village Board meeting for Monday, April 17th, 2023 to order. Please join me in a silent prayer and meditation. All right, thank you. Please join me in a pledge of allegiance. Roll call, please.
Mayor Gaffino.
Here.
Trustee Carroll.
Here.
Trustee Curtis.
Here.
Trustee Gately.
Here.
Trustee Lowry.
Here.
Trustee Nedved.
Here.
Trustee Salazar.
Here.
All right, thank you. I got a couple proclamations to read. I'm going to start with the Volunteer Appreciation Month. Whereas the Village of North Aurora has benefited from the services of numerous outstanding volunteers during the year, and whereas an underpinning of a decent and just society is the willingness of the people to work together for the common good, and whereas a positive energy of selfless individuals mobilized in service can stem the tide of social affliction, enrich our recreational and cultural lives, safeguard our personal safety, contribute to the efficiency and positive effect of government services. And whereas volunteering creates an opportunity to better oneself, and whereas it's incumbent upon all of our citizens to salute our dedicated volunteers, celebrate the volunteer programs which contribute to life in the village. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by Village President Mark Fino on this day, 17th day of April, 2023, that April be recognized as Volunteer Appreciation Month in the Village of North Aurora. Thank you. And just a thought too, being a volunteer, you don't get paid, you probably get yelled at by people. Yeah. It's not always the sweetest job, but it doesn't go unnoticed. So, and time is all we have in our lives. So you give your time for free, and it's really appreciated. So thank you very much.
Mayor, I just like to commend them on their work ethic, their community pride. I don't know what we would do without them, from North Aurora days to the recent storms. I know as the chief of police, when our officers are spread thin, you can always count on them to show up and direct traffic, block a road, help us with community events, and with a smile on their face. So they're a pleasure to deal with, and I thank them for everything.
Real quickly before we present certificates, I just want to summarize the program. If you weren't aware, the North Aurora CERT program began in 2014 with 8 volunteers. That year they did 158 volunteer hours. In 2022, they did 1,176 volunteer hours at an estimated value of $36,000 and some change. To date, all the volunteers of the CERT and now EMA program have put in 10,542 hours at an estimated value of about $282,000. We estimate the value based on average volunteer time that's computed by some people who know probably better than I do. But regardless of the exact dollar value, they are a tremendous value to our community and to the police department in particular. We couldn't do our jobs without them. So the only thing I have to give them is our thanks. So we'd like to recognize each one of them. Currently, we have 23 volunteers, and we've added 7 new volunteers, a few of which are here tonight. And we have, I think, 3 more in the pipeline. So it looks like we'll be adding about 10 new volunteers during 2023 so far. So if I could have the mayor come up, and I have certificates for the volunteers here. I'm going to call your name and call you the mayor. They should be in order. So leading the volunteers with just over 200 hours, Dave Thiesing. Dave also had the most administrative hours at over 107 as he was preparing to teach the current CERT class that we've got about 2 more weeks to go. Thank you, Dave. Next, Jeff Wong at 153 hours. And Jeff had the most training hours this past year.
Dave, you should come back. You're gonna be the only one that I have. Show your math.
Okay, you want to make sure you get everybody.
Next up is Mike Seiler, one of our supervisors. Mike, thanks, sir.
That guy in your team.
Next up is Julie Ruiz, and Julie had the most activation hours, which is when we were called out. Thank you, Julie. Next up, Harley Linker, another one of our supervisors. Cindy Alvis.
You got one anyhow.
James Bird. Jim. Sure. Steve Lopez. And next, Kathy Linsner, who's half of one of our husband and wife teams. I'm not, not my words.
We're not getting involved in that.
Thank you. And her other half, Pete Linsner. Thank you, sir. Chuck Nader. Thank you, Chuck. Andrew Jerriane. Thank you, sir. And some of our new volunteers that have just started with us in the past month or so. Herman Gold. Or is that the next one? You get one. You signed on the line. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And our other husband and wife team, the first half is Brendan White. Purely alphabetical. Thank you, sir. And Catherine White. Thank you. Did I miss anybody? All right. That is it. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
All right, I got another proclamation, Arbor Day, 2023. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed in the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for planting trees. And whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and Arbor Day now is observed throughout the nation and the whole world. And whereas trees reduce erosion of precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, countless other wood products. Whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance and economic vitality of the business area, beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renew. Where now, therefore, be it proclaimed, I, Mark Covino, Village President of North Aurora, do hereby proclaim April 28th, 2023 as Arbor Day in the Village of North Aurora. Urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day, support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands, and further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the hearts and promote the well-being of this and future generations on this 28th day of April 2023, dated this day, the 17th day of April 2023. All right. Moving on to the public hearing. Open the public hearing for our draft budget for 23 and year 24. Anybody here to speak on behalf of that? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing and we're going to move on to, or Jason, do you have anything to say regarding that? Move on to audience comments. Seeing none, consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
trustee Carroll,
Yes.
trustee Curtis.
All right, thank you. Under new business, item 1, Jason.
Thank you. This item is a resolution to obligate the Village's American Rescue Plan Act funding. From last committee, the whole meeting, you remember the village received just under $2.5 million, and we presented a plan on how to spend that money over the next year or two. This primarily be water projects, the well 5 improvements, well 6 improvements, Chestnut Locust Spruce water main replacements, Clearwater, Lovedale, Offutt, in the Fox River Crossing water main. And also within the resolution, we put a line in there saying the other eligible water related projects, should anything happen to these other 4 projects we've identified to where something gets pushed back or doesn't work out, we want to spend it on water related issues.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Roll, please.
Trustee Curtis. Trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
trustee Carroll.
All right, thank you. Item 2, Mike.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 2 is an ordinance authorizing an agreement for the purchase of 40 North Monroe Street. This is the 1/4 acre property located at the southwest corner of Oak and Monroe, located on Block 1. We did discuss this with the village board at September 19th, 2022 at executive session. At that point in time, we had a acquisition price of $272,000. Some months had passed, a lot of negotiation back and forth. We were able to come to a price of $275,000, which was reflected in the contract. As of right now, that $3,000 extra would be as a holdback in case the property were left in a certain condition. There are tenants still remaining in the 2-unit building. So what would happen, we would close on the property earlier when the tenants either move out or when the last lease is up, which would be mid-September.
Motion to approve. Second.
Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
trustee Carroll,
Yes.
trustee Curtis, trustee Gately.
Yes.
All right, item 3, and the first time, Mr. Brian.
Thank you, Mayor. The Public Works Department, is part of our general road maintenance program, is looking to have a pavement striping program done. This will replace thermoplastic pavement markings over existing markings. We're focusing on lane lines, turn arrows, stop bars, and crosswalks throughout town. We're going to be kind of in the Randall area, Mitchell Road and Deer Path, some of the more traveled roads. We received 3 bids for this work, with Superior road striping being the lowest. So based on satisfactory results from their work in the past, which they've done several times for us, we're looking to award the contract in the amount of $57,930, and that'll come from the motor fuel tax fund.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Roll please.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
trustee Carroll,
Yes.
trustee Curtis, trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 4, Steve.
Thank you. Pedal and Spoke is looking to have a special event permit for a bike ride that they're doing on Sunday, May 7th. The ride is 25 to 100 miles long. 25 to 100 miles long. I'm gonna say that again. They're expecting 100 to 200 attendees, and they've done this several years before. This is, I think, the 6th time they've done it. The reason they need a special event permit is when we became aware of it, they're using our personnel and or CERT to actually help with 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock departures from Pedal and Spoke on 31 by the police department, just so they can stagger the riders. There's no road closures. They're going to follow rules of the road. It's a ride, not a race. And then the other thing is they also have sound amplification before 10 a.m. on Saturday.
Motion to approve.
Discussion? Roll please.
Trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
trustee Carroll,
Yes.
trustee Curtis,
Yes.
trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry.
Yes.
All right, thank you. That concludes our new business. Under village president report, I have nothing. Trustee comments?
Well, one, I did have a comment. I just wanted to welcome Brian. And I think that it's Mark's last board meeting with us. Is that right?
Full meeting.
Not technically.
Full meeting. Oh, it's not your technically. Okay, then I'll just reserve that for another time. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks.
Good point, though. Administrator report?
Just a couple things. Trustee Bird Salazar stole my thunder. I was going to welcome Brian to his first board meeting as Director of Public Works. We actually, today was the last day, so we've closed out our recruitment for Director of Community Development. We'll start going through everything and looking to fill Mike's shoes as he's looking to move on to a different position with the village. So things are kind of moving around right now. Also, something that came up in our beautification committee earlier tonight. I wanted to point out that the mural that used to be at the Activity Center building that we've had in storage, it's the Route 31 historic Lincoln Highway mural for Exposition Park. We've been talking for years of a place, and we had talked about putting it on the police department. I just wanted to let everybody know that that's actually getting pretty close. Correct, Brian? We should expect it on the building soon.
Yeah, the company contracted had a few breakdowns, and I contacted them last week, and they said hopefully it should be up by the end of this week. So.
And that's cool because that is as a reminder. And it was funny because one of our community members was given some of the history of that sign. Exposition Park was actually where the police department is. They're on part of that land. But what was interesting is we're talking decades ago when that mural was talked about and brought to us through a state program. That was actually one of the original sites, is to put it on the police station, is what he had mentioned at the meeting. Only the building wasn't built yet. It was being built. So it's kind of funny that it found a home, went away for a couple of years, and it's going to end up finding a home possibly back where it was supposed to go potentially 20 years ago. So that should be in the next week or so.
Department reports? Okay, motion adjourned.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose the same. All right, we'll be meeting shortly for the committee of the whole.